Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1141.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about how much money does it take for you to feel wealthy. This was a survey that was done by Schwab 2022 Modern Wealth, in which they polled the average American and asked them, what does being rich mean to you and how much money does it involve? The answer has varied from year to year, and before I tell you the number, we can go back to last year when they did this survey, and I did a little podcast about it. And at that time, it was about feeling comfortable. And they asked, what do you need for financial peace of mind? At that time, in 2021, people answered a net worth of about $624,000 would make them feel financially comfortable. That was down from $934,000 a year before. So it can change a lot from year to year, but it jumped quite a bit in the last year in terms of what people said they need in order to feel wealthy. Now, before it was just feeling comfortable, this one is asking, what do you think it means to be rich? How much net worth does that take? And the answer came back that having a net worth of $2.2 million is what people consider rich. They say that's up $300,000 from prior survey results. But that also shows that the top 2% in the United States population has a net worth of about $2.4 million, and the top 5% wealthiest Americans have a net worth of just over $1 million. So therefore, by this definition, only about 2% of the population has enough money to be considered rich. The other thing they talked about in the survey is what was important to people. And the answer came back that people want to prioritize their principles in the workplace. So they will go so far as to take a pay cut to work for a company that resonates with their ideals. And that makes sense to me. You have to be aligned with the company that you work for. If you aren't, that's going to keep you awake at night and be majorly stressful. So I think that makes sense that that was a priority for people. Also, when asked this year about what would make people feel comfortable, the answer came back $774,000. So I don't know why these particular numbers resonate with people or why $774,000 is the magic number. After all, people live in different cities and have different costs of living. Some people live downtown in very large cities that are extremely expensive. Other people live out in the country, and their expenses are quite a bit less. Certainly, real estate prices vary that way, and there's a lot of different things that can come into the whole equation of whether you feel like you're comfortable, whether you have enough money, and what the definition of being rich is. But rather than focus on some magic number that might have meaning to someone else and really mean nothing to you, I think it's important to find out what is meaningful to you and what is the number that you want to have. That way, you can take some steps to start to prepare for it. Recently, I was talking with someone about their retirement, and they were telling me that although in their 50s, it's been very difficult for them to save anything for retirement, to the point where they're not even sure that they can ever afford to retire. And that's a daunting thing to think about, to be working into your old age and never getting to enjoy your later years. So what I think is important is to look at what is the potential that you have in your portfolio that could provide you with some growth that could get to bigger numbers and potentially fund your retirement. That's one of the reasons why I recommend people invest in cryptocurrencies, because not all of them certainly, but a handful of cryptocurrencies, I think, are the next technological revolutions, similar to the Amazons and Googles and eBays of the late 1990s. These are things that have tremendous growth, are in the early stages, and are going to have mass scale because of mass adoption. To me, that's the kind of technology that I want to invest in. I'm not chasing after the token of the day. I'm not chasing after some obscure cryptocurrency. I'm looking for who are the next winners. Who are the ones that have the most incredible technology and that are already getting early adoption? Early adoption is a sign that when many businesses are already working with this technology and it's still very early on in the quantum age, that tells you that their future is very bright and they've likely already been chosen as a future winner. For example, when you see Ripple has hundreds of banks already signed up to work with its technology, you already know it's so far ahead of any competition that it's likely to be the big winner. And then you pair that with an article that Ripple posted on their website about cryptocurrency adoption increasing in 2023. Well, you just know that Ripple and XRP are just poised to be in the right place at the right time. Here's a little bit of what they said in their article. Ripple believes that the use of cryptocurrencies and XRP will continue to increase in the coming year. They forecast that 2023 will see a renewed emphasis on the practical applications of cryptocurrencies, with a shift in the market away from highly speculative firms and toward those that use crypto solutions to solve real problems and meet unmet consumer needs. So I want to pause there and say, what they're saying is they're getting away from the speculation, from betting on which crypto is going to go up or down, and they're investing in the ones that have real utility, which is what we've been talking about the future winners are going to be. They actually solve real problems. And their technology is in demand because it's an actual improvement over how things are done today. It goes on to say the increased practicality is the driving force behind the ongoing institutional adoption of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. They argue that institutions will accelerate their long-term adoption of crypto solutions despite the current market slump due to the potential improvements in efficiency, transparency, and speed that crypto solutions can provide. Want to pause there and say, well, that makes total sense to me. If you can improve efficiency, transparency, and speed and do it all with low fees, who's not going to be for that? The company also predicts that major non-governmental organizations, or NGOs, will begin incorporating crypto into their programs to better serve financially vulnerable individuals, such as refugees and displaced persons, as a way to make cross-border payments when conventional routes are corrupt or inefficient. Well, hooray for that, because the fees are so expensive that no matter what their circumstances are, anybody, anywhere who's trying to send money across the country or across the world should be able to do that very quickly and with very low fees. And it ends by saying, the Ripple team is confident that 2022 will be seen as a turning point for the cryptocurrency industry, and that it will emerge stronger and more focused on practical applications. They believe that the crypto industry is going to mature, just like the dot-com bubble, which also saw quick expansion, a subsequent collapse, and eventual industry maturity. And they think that issues about liquidity will continue to filter out the crypto companies that have depended on hype cycles. End of article. Yeah, hype cycles are out. That is so 2022. That's very FTX. That's very corrupt. That's very ridiculous. We don't need hype. What we need is real technology, solutions, and superior technology. And just like the dot-com bubble, which was the last cycle that we had of massive innovation that people really didn't understand what was coming and what was happening, we're now in that cycle again. We're so early. People don't really understand, at least the masses don't. You do because you're listening to this, but many people who aren't listening and don't understand cryptocurrency really don't see the powerful future it's going to bring for us and all the amazing things we're going to be able to do. This is the next phase of the technological revolution I call the quantum age, and there's going to be so many advances that we're going to be able to enjoy. Many things will get a lot easier for us and cost effective. But it's not just me who's saying that. 90% of businesses are now adopting blockchain technology. A new survey from Casper Labs found that despite education gaps, enterprise adoption of blockchain technology in the US, UK, and China is set to increase in 2023. Nearly 90% of the businesses surveyed reported deploying blockchain technology in some capacity, with 87% saying they plan to invest in blockchain in the next year. This is particularly pronounced in China, where over half of the respondents plan to invest in blockchain in 2023. Businesses are already utilizing the technology and benefiting from two of its main capabilities. Security, 42% are benefiting from that, and copy protection, 42% are benefiting from that. Those in IT-based operations are using blockchain for things such as internal workflows, 40%, supply chain efficiency, 34%, and software development, 30%, among others. They also said the biggest hurdles to adoption are limited developer knowledge, lack of tools, interoperability, and cynicism toward the industry. Education has been a long-standing challenge and barrier for those outside the space wishing to interact with the technology and communicate with clients. So you see, when 90% of businesses are saying they are adopting blockchain technology, we're not guessing here. We're using real statistics of real things that are happening and real trends that are in play. And that's where combining investments with future technologies that have scalability, are gaining market share rapidly, are financially strong, and incredibly scalable and in demand because of their amazing utility and other developments that they have that are advancing technology, that's where we get really excited with investing. And that's where I think massive potential is ahead for those of us who are smart investors in blockchain investments and a handful of leading cryptocurrencies. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.